You've also spoken about historical revisionism. For example, and my next question is the Modi government retelling the story of our independence. How would you answer that?
Yeah, they are. I mean, let's face it. I mean, the Modi government is the political heir of the Hindu Mahasabha movement. I mean, essentially, Hindu Mahasabha led to the Jan Sangh, led to the BJP, and that's what we have today. And this is the tradition. Their heroes are people who are identified with a very overtly Hindu expression of thought. Now, who are these people in terms of the nationalist struggle? They were either absent altogether from the fray or they actively collaborated with the British. I mean, this is simply a matter of historical record. I'm not casting stones at anybody, but it is a fact. And in fact, the Hindu Mahasabha and the Muslim League of Jinnah were in many ways mirror images of each other. They were in agreement that Hindus and Muslims were two different nations. And in fact, when the British gleefully seized upon the Congress resignations of their ministries, when the British declared the Second World War and Congress resigned their ministries in protest, what the British tried to do was to give those ministries to parties that had not been elected to hold those positions in the first place, namely precisely the Muslim League and the Hindu Mahasabha, right, who actually worked in coalition in a couple of states. They worked together with each other in collaboration with the British in order to enjoy the loaves and fishes of office that the Congress had vacated. Now, this is the history. And now for them to be celebrating the Quit India movement, which they had actually betrayed, to put it bluntly, when it happened in 1942, for them to be talking about, Saat Saal ki Qurbani and so on, as Mr. Modi has done, for them to be trying to appropriate the legacy of Mahatma Gandhi, whom they had despised when he was alive, and who several elements of the RSS and the Mahasabha celebrated Mahatma Gandhi's assassination by distributing sweets and laddus.
We'll talk about Gandhiji in a moment.
Disapproved of. So, I mean, the history of the nationalist movement.
That was absolutely fascinating. We'll talk about Gandhiji in a moment. In one of the chapters...
My point simply is, when you say, are they rewriting the history of the movement? Yes, they are. They're also trying to appropriate people like Sardar Patel onto their side, whereas Sardar Patel was fundamentally very, very critical of the RSS.
Has the Indian soul been partitioned?
Has the Indian soul been partitioned? Not yet. I do write about my fear that it could be, in the sense that when you start sort of dividing people in the mind, you're also dividing people in the soul. We've had a division in the soil of India in 1947. What I fear is, as we keep speaking of us and them, of Hindus and non-Hindus, of Hindi speakers and non-Hindi speakers, of North versus South, we are in fact partitioning the Indian soul. I don't think it's happened yet, but there are people attempting to do it.